You're tuning into the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show with your host, Michael Carvelis.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Daily Dive, the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet. For producer Joe, who's in Banditland, New York, I am your host, Michael Carvelis, here in Guyton, Georgia. We are live on 12 on Sports here on this Thursday, November 7th, 2024. And be sure to subscribe on YouTube while you're here because we are monetized. You are tuned in to Hype Up Month 2024. Your favorite / only live lacrosse talk show in the universe is just heating up. And the first week is almost done. But boy, do we have 3 more good ones to go. I cannot wait to show you what we have in store. Speaking of what we have in store, how about what we have in store today? Our first topic is going to be Home Sweet Home. And we're going to talk about how Albany FireWolves and Las Vegas Deader Dogs locked down their arenas in different ways, but I was very impressed by that. We'll air an interview with Jake Naso, Duke's all-time leader in faceoff wins. Also, we'll wrap it up with Jeff Teat dominating the summer of lacrosse events. First, I want to let you guys know that we are presented by tickets.12ouncesports.com. If you want to experience the best lacrosse league in the world, or any sport, concert, theater, or Broadway for that matter, head to tickets.12ozsports.com. A reminder to also check us out on Spotify. If you're listening on audio, that is again tickets.12ozsports.com. But you can experience tickets for less. All right, let's get into it. We're going to talk about the cribs portion of the segments. Home Sweet Home. The Las Vegas Deader Dogs have switched to a nearby arena that was announced earlier this offseason, but it's in Henderson, Nevada. And I did some research on Henderson. I found out this. It's 16 miles southeast of Las Vegas, according to Wikipedia. It is also the second most populous city behind, of course, Las Vegas. And for those of you saying, well, Michael, it's not Las Vegas, it's not the Strip, I have good news for you. My buddy Aaron Crouch, who I've done multiple shows with on 12 on Sports, he is a Las Vegas resident and lives very close to the Strip. And he has told me if the team wants to grow locally, this is a very, very good move because he said locals sometimes don't like going to the Strip just to support a team they like. They will go to the Strip, but it's a lot easier to do so when the town is a lot less populous, like a lot less tourists going on. So I thought that was a very good thing to mention on this show, and I love that he said that. I also have loved that the team has been so active in the community and on social media. Like, let's be honest, this Las Vegas has absolutely murdered, in a good way, the social media aspect of things. And I absolutely love that for them. We know what Sean Williams does in the community. We know what the team does. But seeing how they have been so active on social media to me is also a big deal, considering some teams are not as good at that. So I'm sure locals appreciate just the extra content they're getting. Also, I mentioned before in the dispersal draft, they did pick up Jonathan Donville. No big deal, right? Media sensation Jonathan Donville. And a sad note, as you're going to see on the ticker below, Charlie Bertrand has been placed on the retired list, at least for the Desert Dogs. I'm not sure if he's retiring from lacrosse completely. I know he also plays for the Redwoods. Someone was mentioning that caveat. But Dan Arestia was the first to report that Charlie Bertrand is retiring, at least, like I said, from the NLL. But I believe it's looking up for Las Vegas, and I love that the team is trying so hard to make this puppy dog work. But there's also another graphic. Of course, you see the little Las Vegas Deader Dog. First of all, producer Joe is just smacking amazing on these graphics. But here is the that's a cat, but we're going to go with FireWolf. as we move on to the Albany FireWolves, because their situation is not a relocation. It wasn't a relocation for Las Vegas. They're still in Las Vegas, but they're not. Albany stayed in the MVP arena. On October 1st, so just about over a month ago, the team announced they're staying with the MVP arena for 6 years. More on that in a second. The team was just in the National Lacrosse League Finals, and they feature a team with Alex Simmons and Ty Kurtz, who are already rookie sensations, and you're also saying we get to see Dyson Williams now. That's a very, very big deal. So this team is stacked up for the future with this deal. And by the way, just in case you're wondering, the 6-year extension, there's a lot of wordplay on that as well. Because they are there for 3 more years, but the reports out there on social media, you can look them up, it's like 3 more years possible. I'm like, okay. So 6 years is like, obviously the selling point, but I guess it's possible they only are there for 5 more years. Is that what I'm getting from this? It's just an interesting thought process. But again, great job for Albany. Another team that has been very active on social media and in the community. We know Glenn Clark has been very, very vocal about that. I read a quote to Brendan Glasheen. I'll reiterate that quote. He said, I'm in the community. This is from Glenn Clark. I'm in the community. I'm interacting with a lot of people, and there's that narrative that it's a hard market. We're trying to break that perceived stereotype. This is another step in saying, look, we're committed to this community. We're committed to this arena. We want longevity and stability. I love that. I love that from Glenn Clark, and he has been the perfect man for this job if Albany is going to grow the lacrosse team. And to a reminder, just because, we are on 12 on Sports, reminder to go to tickets.12onsports.com because the opening night in Albany at that MVP arena is going to be on, I don't know why here it is. It is going to be versus the Saskatchewan Rush, 7 o'clock Eastern on a Saturday night. Like I said, November 30th, the opening day for them. You want to be there, you got to go to tickets.12onsports.com. Shameless, awesome plug there. Alrighty, we'll be right back. It's the moment a lot of you, including myself, have been waiting for. We're going to get into the interview with Jake Naso, who has got some pretty awesome credentials, but we mentioned that in the interview. But first of all, we need a water break, and we'll be right back to Daily Dive. Don't go anywhere. I know you won't.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water. Dust Pods is the future. and polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DustPods or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And welcome back to Daily Dive. I am your host, Michael Carvelis. That is Jake Naso, not Naso, right?
Naso.
It is Naso.
Yes.
I got it right. See, someone told me you wouldn't correct me because you're so nice when I was broadcasting you. And I'm so happy I got that right. So that explains a lot.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jake, you're awesome, man. To be fair, I'm more of a box lacrosse guy. So Duke, I feel like I've seen you play at Duke before, but I feel really bad. I'd never heard that name called until I was calling it. So, but you're a legend, dude.
Thank you. Yeah, no worries at all. I mean, the field and box are two totally different games, so I totally understand that. But yeah, happy to be here.
I appreciate you for coming. For those that don't know, I met Jake in Missoula, Montana. Kind of where I met Philip Malesio from a couple of days ago, if you watched that show. This guy played for the Crusaders, may or may not have won a championship for the Montana Lacrosse League. Can you explain the Missoula experience like? Because it was pretty out there. But what about the lacrosse?
Yes, it was definitely awesome out there. It was my first time that far west in the States to Montana. And it was great. I mean, I don't have any box experience or didn't have any box experience before playing in the Montana Lacrosse League. And I was super fortunate that they reached out to me. And, you know, I want to play lacrosse as long as I can. And being that I just graduated at Duke last year, this opportunity presented itself. And, you know, I was super excited to, you know, just for the opportunity, and met some really cool people along the way. Was fortunate enough to win a championship with their Crusaders, and those guys were awesome. They pretty much filled me in on everything I needed to know as far as the box game goes for those 2 weekends. And they were super helpful in teaching me, and I was kind of picking their brains and just learning the game because it was all brand new to me.
Jake, you seem like a humble person, so I can only imagine you getting a lot from them, but I feel like they could have learned some face-off stuff from you as well. Did you provide any face-off info their way or no?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely were asking some questions. There weren't any face-off guys other than myself on the team, but they were definitely asking some questions and just trying to provide all the insight that I could to them, and sort of explain how I go about the position. Everyone goes about it a little bit differently. But they were definitely intrigued. And, you know, obviously I was asking them a ton of questions about offense and defense and transition and box. So it was cool to, you know, give them back some knowledge about face-offs after they taught me so much about the box game.
I love that. You did play, like you said, this is your first box experience, which was awesome to hear. Like, I was shocked because I don't know if face-offs are different in field and box. I know you have to stay on the field longer in box. Is that kind of the difference in field and box?
Yeah, so yeah, face-offs are a bit different. In box, you're lined up further from the ball, so further back.
Oh.
And my time here at Duke, they changed the rule where you're only allowed to be standing, so you're not allowed to be on either knee, and you have to be what's called in traditional grip. You can't grip the stick like you're gripping a motorcycle. It has to be one hand, one palm up, one palm down. Your right hand has to be up, the palm has to be up, and the left palm has to be down. So they basically switched that going into my freshman year, and transitioning to box now. I've came back to my stance being on a knee, and I faced off on my knee ever since I was a young kid learning to face off. So it wasn't too foreign to go back to. And it was a seamless transition. I know I was practicing on my own before the Montana Lacrosse League, and, you know, it was definitely a really cool experience and getting some reps back.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I feel like, I'm not sure the actual numbers, but you were darn near close to 100%, at least the weekend that I watched. It was pretty fun to see that. And you also stayed on the floor multiple times, took some shots, and I was like, this guy, I was shocked to hear that you had never played box. I was like, this guy's a legend.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
And I want to see if you reiterate this because you mentioned this to me when I was talking to you briefly in Montana about why you really liked field lacrosse and how much different it was from box. Can you explain that to me about like the going real fast?
Yeah, I feel like obviously the box game is super fast, but I don't feel like I have or especially in Montana, I know the floor wasn't a full size NLL floor, so it was a little
Oh,
bit
yeah,
more
that's true.
condensed. It was a little shorter, so I wasn't able to like run full speed for a long period of time, and that's something I just missed. A part of the field game is running full speed, running past guys, or cutting the lanes as fast as you can. This is more of a condensed area, and you don't have to make long passes at all. And I did like it. It was new for me, and
Right.
you don't. I have to learn and get better at playing in those close quarters, and I think my teammates were great at coaching me up with it. But definitely a part of the field game I missed was being able to open up and sprint as fast as I can, either trying to go to the goal or just running away from defenders.
So I will put it this way: that was a rather small field for box, so there's still a chance there that you like box better. But
Okay.
you do have a chance to run faster in box. Thank goodness, from what I've learned, you are a fast dude, so I can imagine what's your top speed. Have you ever done like a 40-yard dash? Like your timing on that?
No, I haven't tested
Oh,
the 40-yard dash. I know,
come
but
on, man.
I've yeah, it takes me a little while to get going, but once I get going, I like to think I'm decently if fast, but
Yeah,
the acceleration can improve. I'll give you that.
that's fair. That's fair. So I'm just gonna name this for people that don't know. Seventh all time in faceoffs at 1,001. Also one of seven to do that. And names you're behind, like barely behind, like Teat, Erling, Trevor Baptiste. I mean, Petey Lasala. Not a bad list to be in the same breath as. How have you ever talked to those guys? Have you ever learned from them? And just how can you put that into words? How cool that is.
Yeah, it is. Honestly, it's an honor. Those three guys you mentioned, Trevor Baptiste, I have talked to very briefly, maybe once or twice in the past. I haven't really known him, and I was super lucky enough to learn a bunch from Teat Erlin this past
Ooh.
summer. I did training camp with the PLL Redwoods. Unfortunately, got cut, but Teat was amazing in helping me learn and teaching me different aspects of the game that I had never viewed before. And he just puts things in. He thinks about every little nuance to the position and to the game itself, and it was super helpful for me. And I just wanted to be a sponge and take everything in that I could from him. And then Petey LaSalle, another name that you mentioned, I grew up one town over from him on Long Island, so we had trained a bunch growing up together, and he was still is an exceptional face-off guy at the highest level. Was always a threat to score, and I tried to model my game after his as far as having an offensive presence and pushing transition. So those guys in that conversation, just to be in the same conversation as them, is truly an honor.
Do you have is your goat Petey Lasala? Like, do you have like a field or a box
Oh,
lacrosse goat for faceoffs?
I guess so. My goat, the person I looked up to growing up was Brendan Fowler. He was a face-off
Okay.
guy here at Duke. I was always a big Duke fan growing up, and
Yes.
yes, and I absolutely loved Brendan Fowler. His game. He was a wrestler and a football player as well, so he brought a toughness to the position that wasn't very prominent at the time, but it's something I loved to watch growing up.
Question: do faceoffs matter? Because I think they do.
Yes, I mean, I'm a face-off guy. I'm going to argue that they matter, and I absolutely love the position. I know there's been a bunch of debate as far as where the face-off is going to go, if they're going to keep it, if they're going to keep changing it every year or two, or however it's been. But I think it's the only sport, being lacrosse, where possession really can dictate the outcome of a game, especially at the college level. And I love it. I think it brings a whole different part of the game that is awesome, and it gets people going. It gets people juiced up if either a face-off guy or one of the guys on the wings goes down in transition, scores a goal. Everyone gets super hyped up, and it can be a big momentum changer as well. So I love the position. I love what it brings to the game of lacrosse, and looking at the professional levels now, they're very, very fast with very fast shot clocks.
Yes.
NLL, I believe, is 30 seconds, and PLL, if you win a face-off, you got 32 seconds to shoot it. So watching guys push the cage in 30, 32 seconds is super fun, in my opinion. And I hope the face-off is here to stay because I love it.
I've actually heard from someone named, I think it was Cooper Perkins, who said he wants like more face-offs, like instead of like just dropping the ball from a referee, which is not, it's still cool. It's like having like a face-off, like they do in hockey. It's like that would be great.
Yeah,
more
like
face-offs, please.
from a stoppage of play. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
that would definitely be interesting. I know in the NLL they do, if they're unsure who knocked the ball out of bounds or it goes over the netting, they do face-offs similar to hockey in the corners. I have to get more familiar with that rule myself, as I'm not too sure how that face-off comes about. But I have seen a couple NLL games where they do face off in the corner. I would imagine it's because they can't tell who hits it out of bounds. But I don't know who mentioned that, but I can definitely get behind him. More face-offs would definitely be really cool.
I mean, if that was a thing, I think you would have smoked T.D. Irwin. I mean, you would have. No offense to T.D. I know it's a different rule if that would have come about, but you would have killed the guy. I'm just saying.
Oh, I don't know about that. He's unreal. Absolutely awesome player.
Oh yeah. Well, he's one of the ones that can go up against Jake Withers if you've ever seen him in Halifax. I mean, good lord.
Yes, yeah, those guys are two of the best of their positions, and watching them battle is truly a great experience.
They're like pit bulls.
Oh yeah.
How about let's get to the this is an NLL, like a pro NLL show. Even though I do love college lacrosse. You were in training camp with the Saskatchewan Rush. Tell me, what is that like? Are you there yet? And just tell me about that process, how it's going to go for you, and what you're excited for.
Yeah, I mean, training camp started last weekend, so I left here on Thursday. I'm in North Carolina right now. I left here on Thursday. We had training camp Friday, Saturday, and then I came back on Sunday. It was a crazy experience, and those guys are like awesome guys, and I'm super fortunate to be able to have training camp with them and be able to attend, because I've learned a ton already. And I've always been in a sort of position where I can worry about face-offs and that's it. Obviously, offense and defense, you have to know and be a complete lacrosse player, but my main focus was face-offs at all times. And here in the NLL and at training camp, I've learned that everyone has to be good at everything. Like, I have to have a great stick. I'm not going to be playing offense or as much offense as I was in field. Saskatchewan has a ton of players who are more than capable of putting the ball in the back of the net. And, face-off guys traditionally have to be able to play defense. So defense is definitely a lot different than field defense, whereas you always have to have your head on a swivel, and you can get away with a little bit more as far as picks go. And sort of defending it, you always have to be aware someone's coming up behind you to pick you. And I think it definitely took me a little while to get used to that. But the guys were awesome in helping me out and constantly coming off the floor after every rep. Someone was in my ear telling me good job or what to improve and how to go about this certain situation or whatever it was. So, I mean, I'm just using it as a learning experience and, trying to play lacrosse as long as I can because I love the game. And, I really have been looking forward to this training camp. And last weekend was a blast. Met a ton of people who I've never met before, a lot from Canada. And it was my first time in Canada. And yeah, so it was a little chilly up there, not used to that. But it was overall a great experience. And I'm headed back there tomorrow for this weekend. We have a black and white scrimmage in the arena that the Rush play in. So I'm honestly just super excited to have some fun out there on the floor in front of some fans.
You need to throw some checks to Robert Church, just for fun.
Oh yeah, he I tell you what, he's one heck of a player. Watching him is nuts. Yeah.
It's deceptive. Since you were at Duke, let's rewind to this one more time here. Brandon O'Neill and Dyson Williams, they both were drafted number 1 overall in the National Lacrosse League. How surreal is that? And can you take me through this last one with Brennan O'Neill?
Yeah, I mean, that just goes to show you how talented those guys are. I mean, especially coming from the same school, and I'm sure they learned a lot from each other's games as well. And
Yes.
just getting to know those guys, they're two of the most humble guys out there, and seeing their success makes me super happy because they totally deserve it. The hours they put in and studying the game and the work that they both put in, it definitely paid off, and it's going to keep paying off because I'm sure being drafted number 1 hasn't stopped them from working. And I'm just excited to see them at the next level. Hopefully we'll get the opportunity to play against them. Still waiting to see, hopefully be fortunate enough to make this roster and be able to play against them at the next level here. But both of them coming off super successful summers or collegiate careers and then summers in the PLL. I mean, Dyson won the PLL championship as a rookie, and Brennan was rookie of the year finalist. Yeah. So while watching them have success at the next level has been nothing but awesome for me.
Yeah, those guys are nuts. I was going to ask you which one's better, but I feel like that's not too fair to you.
Oh, I can't say that. No.
One more thing I'll do here before we let you go. Producer Joe likes to make a graphic for everybody who joins the show. So while this is pre-recorded, I'm pulling this up now, and I want to get like your immediate reaction to. There you go. This producer Joe's
that is awesome. Wow, look at that. Yeah.
A lot of Dukes. Oh, I forgot to ask you about USA Lacrosse. How dare me? But yeah, there you are.
That is awesome. Thank you so much for that. That's great. Yeah, you got a little bit of everything in there. A little headshot, a couple action photos. Team USA featured in there.
Yeah, and we'll just ask about Team USA, and then we'll let you go here.
Okay.
Explain the Team USA experience.
Yeah, so that was an unreal experience. It got a little delayed because of COVID. So I was a junior in high school, tried out for, the under 19 at the time it was USA team. Ended up making it through a couple rounds of tryouts and cuts. And we were on a delay for about a year and a half, 2 years until we were able to all meet up again and have another training camp and practice at the headquarters in Sparks, Maryland. And I remember waiting, just honestly thinking to myself, is this really going to happen or not? Because we had all passed the age of 19 and we were like, well, we're not under 19 anymore. And they had changed it to under 20 or under 21. I think it was under 21 because it was 2 years. Yes. But yep, ended up making it through all the way. Was super fortunate enough because that was definitely one of the best experiences of my life. We were able to win a gold medal in Limerick, Ireland, which was my first time in Europe. And that group of guys was unreal. Met so many good guys and guys that I played against in college and guys that'll be my friends forever. And I think just the highlight of that experience was, the night we won and the whole game and how it was a grind of a game and everyone battled back and, face some adversity. I don't believe we were ever down in that game, but it was really close. And our opponent, Canada, was very, very physical. But we were able to pull away.
Good,
yeah, they're absolutely awesome. Credit to them, their coaches. But yeah, it was a great experience there in Ireland and definitely cherished that one. Super fortunate we were able to come away with the gold.
I hate to ask because you were in Ireland. Were you 21 at that point yet?
I was. So this was my sophomore year of college. I was going into my junior year of college. I was actually 19 at the time.
And you have to be 21 to drink there, don't you?
I believe it was 18.
Oh, sweet. Then Ireland did the whole experience. And that's
I believe it was 18. I could be totally wrong, and it was 21. But yeah. Might have to fact check myself on that.
Right. Well, clearly lacrosse is taking you places. It's taking you to Montana, taking you to the Rush, Ireland for crying out loud, and, of course, the Daily Dive. But I'm sure there's more in store for you. Keep on loving the game, and we'll keep on loving you, Jake Naso. Naso, by the way.
That's right. Thank you so much.
Sir.
I appreciate that. It's been my pleasure, or been an honor to be on this show, and thank you so much for having me.
Appreciate you.
Don't go anywhere. Daily Dive will be right back.
Need tickets to that next event? Well, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got them with soccer anywhere in the world. Tickets to any venue, any sport. Want to go to NCAA or NFL football matches? We've got them.
Yeah.
Baseball at every level. Every Power 5 matchup is available. Don't forget, costumes and paint are optional. What's that? You want to go to Broadway? We have those too. Want to jam out? Every concert, every artist. That's right, at 12 Ounce Sports, we've got the tickets for less. 12ozsports.com/tickets. That's 12ouncesports.com/tickets.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money. And we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
America, get back on track with Dust Pod's Performance Stabilizer. When applied to roadways, it kills dust and strengthens the integrity of the road. Easily applied by mixing with water, Dust Pods is the future in polymer stabilization. Call 1-833-DUST-PODS or visit dustpods.com today.
Daily Dive is back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Once again, you are tuned in to the only live Monday through Friday lacrosse talk show on the planet, presented by tickets.12onsports.com. That's tickets.12letter-OZ-sports.com. For those of you that are listening on the audio via Spotify, just search Daily Dive. We want to thank Jake Naso once again. Jake Naso, good Lord, I did it again. Jake Naso for coming on the show. And we did see your comments, Hunter Smith. That was a pre-recorded interview, so I did not get to ask him about Zach Cole. And, of course, he said, go Irish. How dare you, sir? How dare you? Hunter Smith, we appreciate the comments as always, sir. All righty. Let's do it. You know, my relationship with Jeff Teat on this show has been interesting. I went from being the Jeff Teat hater to starting to come around on his talents, and now it's all come down to this. A graphic where he looks like Superman. Gracias, Producer Joe. So with that being said, why is this graphic appropriate? Because Jeff Teat was the man of steel this summer. Because of all the lacrosse events that you watched, was he not front and center the entire time? In the PLL, he set the points record by a mile. And you're like, well, he's really good at field lacrosse. You know what? You are correct with that. He is great at field lacrosse and was single-handedly dragging the New York Atlas on his back. But what about box lacrosse? Because that's been the sport that I've been critical of him in. Well, he was also really staying good at Worlds. In just 6 games, listen to these numbers. 14 goals and 28 assists is unbelievable. I know some competition may not have been up to par with National Lacrosse League, but that stuff does not happen by accident. This guy was amazing. And of course, he won the gold with Canada, including a hat trick and 4 assists in the game against the USA. And of course, he won men's MVP of the tournament. This guy was legendary. And now we shift to Ottawa with the Black Bears. The Riptide have not been very good. Jeff Teat was once a high-risk, high-reward player with a bunch of really awesome points, but then a bunch of turnovers because he was the only guy there. Well, now that team is starting to come together. They've relocated. They're ready to take Ottawa by storm. What's going to happen? Well, according to Hunter Smith, he is the next John Tavares, but with more assists. I love Hunter Smith's hot takes, but I love his takes. This guy is not afraid to speak his mind. Thank you, Hunter Smith. But I'll say this. In a week or so, I'll be starting my playoff predictions. Hopefully, producer Joe joins that again. But I'm just gonna be real with you. I really think I'm gonna have Ottawa Black Bears making the playoffs. I don't think they'll be a bottom feeder, and I think Superman is the reason why. Jeff Teat, you have earned my respect, sir. I am a believer. It's not because I want to just hold you to a high standard just to tear you down. I genuinely think you are at a level now that cannot be matched. You are shooting at a high percentage in both versions of lacrosse. You are not turning the ball over as much. You are a machine. You have come from planet Krypton, or should I say planet Ottawa. I'm excited to watch this man play in the National Lacrosse League. I still have to wait 3 weeks, but darn it, I'm here and I'm ready. Well, thanks once again, folks, for watching today's awesome show. Reminder that you are the bread, you are the butter. Producer Joe, I see you. 70 people in here. I got you, Joe. Producer Joe's incredible. Anyways, you're the bread, you're the butter, you are the Man of Steel to my Superman. Thank you for watching. For everyone that tuned in, thank you for your continued support. And if you're joining us for the first time, please come again. And remember, comments are appreciated. For amazing guests like Jake Naso, whether it be pre-recorded or live, thank you for being amazing and for chiming in and for just sharing your platform with us, giving us validity and relevance. For the baddest daddy in producing history, Producer Joe, I'm your host, Michael Carvalho. We will see you tomorrow, same time, same place, 12 on Sports. This has been Daily Dive.
Thanks for watching Daily Dive. See you next time.